Hello, everyone. We back today to our health talk. Once again, I'm really honored to have opportunity to speak with Dominica. Hello, Dominica. How are you today?
Hello everyone. Hi Chris. I'm very well. Enjoying the summer, although we not much sunshine today. So yeah, but the temperature raised, so I'm happy. I'm a sunshine girl.
Where I'm now, it's like still 32, 35 degrees. So, and it was very sunny day. It looks like it will be for a few days like that here. So yeah, we are enjoying the sun and the summer vibe. But anyway, we have a very interesting topic to touch today. We will speak about connection between the goods and the health of the goods and the back pain. Because from my perspective of the body worker, holistic therapist who's working through the body with a human being, the goods and the health of goods is crucial to get the real result and long terms. And there is many links. So how it looks like from the perspective of naturopathy and diet, Dominica, how do you see it?
So whenever we talk about the aspect of pain and any skeletal or musculoskeletal issues, we rarely think about connection to gut health. It's kind of, I don't know, we treat the musculoskeletal system as something completely separate from all other systems. Something that is almost like working independently. And whenever we look at the aspect of pain, like lower back pain or back pain in general, we often put it down to, you know, sitting too much, walking around with bad posture, injuries, previous injuries, and we rarely connect musculoskeletal system with digestion or any other system, to be honest, because the thing is that there are many systems interactions. So the musculoskeletal system is directly connected to the cardiovascular system. It needs exercise to maintain health, circulation in joints, often that are compromised in disease. Then, of course, we cannot forget about the lymphatic system that needs movement to circulate effectively. Then, of course, immune system, and here we, we think about any issues that might be related to chronic pain and autoimmune inflammatory complaints. Then, of course, it's directly connected to the nervous system, which is responsible for the pain control. And that nervous system connection is indirect, I would say, because I think that the major system that is affecting the musculoskeletal system is the digestion, is the digestive system. And the faults in digestion are often at the root of inflammatory musculoskeletal complaints. And there is now enough research about the microbiome and the gut bacteria. We now hear about the good bacteria and bad bacteria, but the microbiome in general, and there are like literally, for those of you who are like very scientific, there are thousands of papers pointing us towards the direction of how our microbiome, our gut health, is connected to our nervous system, to the brain through the gut-brain axis. And that connection is influencing the nervous response, our mood, the pain response, the energy levels. So we cannot really underestimate the power of our microbiome and the digestive system whenever we experience any sort of pain. Whether it's the back pain or because we might be, of course, there might be something related to the posture, it might be something related to lack of exercise, of course, but usually what happens if someone is not even exercising or even going for walks, 99% of people will have some dietary changes to do. So that's from my experience. If there is that situation where there is no movement whatsoever, we can be sure that there is a lot to change in the diet. Because there is that those people are often neglecting their health, and it's a vicious circle, because if they experience pain, of course they say that they cannot move, they cannot go for a walk, so they don't move too much, and there is the joints are getting stiff, the blood pressure starts rising, they start putting on weight, it's more difficult to move around. It actually triggers the different responses, metabolic responses in the body that may affect the cravings. So they start craving different things. It's those cravings, in most cases, it's not the healthy cravings. There's lots of sugar, there's lots of processed food, which is contributing to inflammatory autoimmune response that is contributing to even more pain and low mood as well, because that's a different story, the lots of anxiety, low mood, depression is driven by our dietary choices. Loads of it. And when we think about it, about our plate, beige food, beige mood. But if we have the rainbow on the plate, then the spirits will lift automatically, pretty much. We kind of feel totally different. So yeah, that's probably a little introduction.
Yeah, exactly. So this is funny story, because whenever I start to work with someone, people coming to me with the sharp pain in lower back, or lack of ability to move, and it's different levels of the pain, and I start to ask them about their diet, and doing the small introduction in the beginning about the influence of the sugar, about the influence of certain food for the inflammatory in the body. They look on me like a little bit green man, alien. What are you talking about? I was seeing my GP, and they never mentioned about this. They're just giving me painkillers. So do some tricks, push here and there, and pain will go. I said, no, 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 no. It might go for a while, but still it's a trick. It's not the real back to the balance. It's not the real health. If we want to achieve long-term release from the pain, we need to look really holistically on the problem. It's not just the, as you said, skeleton muscular system. It's not only the joint. All is connected. So as also you mentioned, if someone is more scientific, then you easily can see direct and indirect connection between the nervous system and so-called roots, nerve roots, which are coming out from the spine, and they attach to the spine core. They sending information and they're receiving information from our parts, let's say, of the body, from the guts and from the lymphatic system, from the veins, from the blood system, and we need to do whatever we can to reduce inflammation in all over the systems in the body, and definitely, from my perspective and experience, we need to reduce the pressure inside the goods. In this way, when they are, let's call it, uh, more empty, and they have a better flow, and in this way we achieve different sensations from the goods which are perceived by the nervous system. So the nervous system is not as confused and is not perceiving our body as full and congest, and it's giving us option to reduce the pressure inside, which means this pressure is giving us better option to move. I mean, the reducing of the pressure. And also people are very often confused and shocked. I said, definitely you need to reduce the amount and the level of the alcohol in the body, because if you are drinking every day, that is the way how you increase the inflammation in the body. I don't
Absolutely.
mind if you like to drink, it's your choice, but especially when you are in the pain, then you need to avoid the alcohol wherever it is, because it is like,
Yeah.
oh, I just drinking one glass of the wine. No, for the time of being in pain, just avoid it completely. Remove it from your diet, remove it from your habits. I know it's not easy, especially when you're drinking 20 years, and to just like that take it away from yourself. But in truth, you're not taking away anything. You're giving yourself opportunity to back to the balance. You're giving yourself opportunity to back to the health. And the same with the sugar and fizzy drinks. I had that funny story. I had once a client. He was very overweighted. Like, I don't remember exactly. It was he had like 160 kilos, and he was 1 meter 90 centimeters tall, and so he was like very heavy guy. And I said, what are you drinking during the day? And he said, no, like 4 liters Coke. Uh, wow, okay, so okay, please just put it away, the Coke. But I have a back pain. I don't have a problem with my digestive system. No, 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 no. You have a problem with the digestive system, and the symptoms are in your back now. So
Yeah.
he reduced it. He dropped completely Coke, and that was amazing because he lost during 1 week between the sessions 10 kilos only by
Yeah.
don't drinking
Mm-hmm.
the Coke, and it was 4 liters a day. Come on. I'm
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I ever drank more than liter if I was drinking the Coke in the past, but phew, amazing amount.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
that's very important to for us to understand this connection, and whenever we dealing with the things, to deal with different angles, to look on
Yeah.
the human body, to look to the human being. As you said, whenever diet is lighter and the flow in the lymphatic system, blood circulation, and the nervous system is better, then it's much easier to lift up the mode, to lift up the spirit of the person, and it's easier to just go through the day with the smile and without the pain. Uh, the other very interesting thing, what I observe also, most, not every, but most of my clients who are coming with the lower back pain specifically, they have a problem with the amount of the tissue in the belly, below, a little bit below the baby button, and in between baby button and the pelvic floor. In this area, they are kind of swollen. And
Yeah.
do you think it's also, it might be related with the gluten in the diet? How it looks like from your
Yeah,
perspective?
it is gluten. It is like the typical, that bottom part is actually typical gluten belly, we can say. It might be because most of us really don't even think about gluten as such. We kind of often think that, oh, I cut down on the bread and that will do. But gluten and wheat specifically is in many different products nowadays. It's not only bread, but it's also going to be, all pasta, including whole wheat pasta. It will be in certain sauces, like the ready sauces for pasta, for instance. They use it as a thickener. The certain compounds from the grain, from wheat. All different cakes, biscuits. Of course, they are with gluten. Wheat is the cheapest grain out there. It is mass produced, and gluten, as well as dairy, contributes to inflammation. It's very pro-inflammatory. So during the treatment, and ideally, in the forever, it should be completely excluded from the diet. With wheat, we have a different choice of ancient grains. So after we manage to fix the digestive system, after we manage to deal with the inflammation, the chronic pain, certain grains, the ancient grains like spelt, kamut, korosan, they can be reintroduced. And you can often, in certain health food shops, you can find spelt pasta, kamut pasta, even bread. But even supermarkets nowadays, they sell spelt flour. That if you want to make, I don't know, pancakes, you can use this. And the major benefit is that those ancient grains, they are only produced on the small scale. They are not sprayed with pesticides. They are organic, and they haven't been modified. So the way how the grain, the structure of the grain, the chemical composition of the grain hasn't been altered as it has been done with wheat, which is mass-produced. And apart from that, it needs all those different pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, you name it, different sites to kill everything. And they had to make wheat strong enough to be able to survive all that spraying. And there is there are some interesting articles that you can find, and there is a movie under the same title, Wheat, which actually says that of course gluten is the issue, but for many people it's actually the pesticides, the glyphosate, everything that they use for spraying, which is causing the problem. So the gluten tummy, it definitely, that lower tummy fat tissue, it contributes to lower back pain. However, It is also directly linked to hormonal issues. So we often have the situation of the estrogen dominance. And apart from that, it's the sign of stress. It's a sign of fear. And if we look at the lower back pain from the metaphysical point of view, it is the place in our body of feeling secure. So if we don't feel secure in our life because I don't know, something happened financially, we lost the job, or we need to move out and we don't necessarily have enough savings to pay the deposit and things like that. If we feel threatened because maybe, I don't know, the abusive relationship that we are in, this all affects the safety, the security, and that lower area around the pelvic floor, the lower back pain, lower tummy, it corresponds with the safety feeling in our life. So that fat tissue that builds up in the lower abdomen is actually our safety pillow. We are protecting ourselves. So this is something else that always should be looked at, because even with herbs, of course, herbs can address the emotional, spiritual side of things as well with the herbal energetics, but also the physical symptoms. But it's also important to work on ourselves on that emotional, mental / spiritual level to address those issues that are causing that fear in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. From this perspective, we can imagine it, our lower back and the connection between the lower back, sacrum bone, and the pelvis as a place of our base, like a secure base for the rest of the body, and wherever is threaten us is influencing how this base is behave. And if just to recall the sessions from treatment room, most of people who are coming with the sharp pain are the people who are coming from the place in their life where they have major changes. Either there's a family situation, either this is a workplace or financial stuff, either is the place where they're living, as you said, they need to move. And I had a very interesting session like a few weeks ago with a person who's quite conscious, I would say even very conscious about the mental abilities of the mind, and she's working with many people to guide them how to make the good decisions in life and how to listen to their intuition, and it's very effective in it. But anyway, on the subconscious level, this is affecting also the body of this person. And whenever she is coming, she's laughing even about that. We first make joke, and then we start to talk deeper about this. I'm again see you after a few years because I'm about to change my house. And last time when I came to your treatment room, I was also moving to another house. So something is in it. It's I'm safe. I know I'm safe. I'm changing because I want. It's going to be better place for us, for the family. But anyway, on some level, subconsciously, I still have this reaction in the body because it's shaking my base. It's changing. It's a huge change. It depends on the level of our attachment to the place where we're living. Some people can easier change places. They are not so attached. Like, for example, me myself, I'm moving quite often to different places. Recently, I moved out from the place where I was living like 6 years, and that was the longest period in my life to live in one house. Usually, after 3 years maximum, I was changing flat or house, wherever, and uh, I don't have this issue, but I'm not as
Mhm.
attached.
Mhm.
For me, it's quite natural to move. This is my construction. I know and I appreciate other constructions. If someone is attached and like to live in one place, that's great. Also
Mhm.
nice. It depends what we like and what we want from our life. I really like to and enjoy to move and to change the environment from time to time.
Mhm.
So that way I have it easy. So what I want to say is don't need to be dramatic situation. That there don't need to
Mhm.
be drama around it. Just it happens. The situation is happening. This is reshake changes our base, and then
Mhm.
we have this issue. Even though we know it's for better, we decide
Yeah.
we want that, but subconsciously part of us still is feeling a little bit
Shaken.
insecure,
Mhm.
and definitely this is changing process. um, Also, what is very interesting from this point of view, what you said, that's very often happening when we changing our way, how we perceive, how we see the world. So our mindset when it's changing, and there is a very interesting, let's say, research done, the article about this. Um, we after we finished 21, let's say, it's also related with astrology, the cycles of the Saturn, but we'll not go there today. But let's say every 7 years our body is completely rebuilt because we have this
Yeah.
catabolic and anabolic processes in our body. So all the cells are gone and built again. And this is what we want to do, and how the biology of our body is working. We want to rebuild it in the better shape, or,
Mhm.
or at least in the same way as we had it before. That is giving us balance. And but it's also changing our way of thinking, and it's changing the way how we see the world. Do you hear me? Because my camera
Yes. Yeah.
probably is.
You are frozen, but I can hear you. You can continue. Yeah.
It's very hot here. Yeah, so we changing the way how we see the world and how we thinking, how we constructing our thoughts, our beliefs. So this article is showing the most people, they have their first incident with the lower back pain around 30, where when they
Mhm.
33 years old. In this window of age, most people they have the first issue with the lower back, because there is a major change of the way how we
Mhm.
see the world, how we thinking. Is changing our personality, and the construct of the character is also changing. And the other one, the window is around 40, between 30, let's say 38, that was 38 to 41, and again around 50. These three
Mhm.
groups, age of groups, they are most common with the lower back pain. And many people many people are connecting that to the physical activities and to physical body, to musculoskeletal system. But it's not only that.
Mhm.
I will say, even this is manifestation of that, what is happening with our mindset, with our way of thinking, our way of constructing the thoughts, and how we are creating our life, and how we coping with our life from which perspective. So this is also important from my perspective. It's also important to get that knowledge, to know it, and to look to this mindsets stuff whenever we're dealing, especially with chronic pains, because there is
Mhm.
when there's chronic pain, there is resistance from our side to change,
Yeah.
or we still trying to keep our old ways, and subconsciously we know there's not the best for us, but we are so
Mhm.
attached to the old ways
Yeah.
to we're trying to be still there. And as we are talking before this recording today, we with time and with practice, we both change our ways of dealing with the people, with the clients, and how we are running our practice on the daily basis. Because we feel it's good to change it. It's not the same like 10 years ago when we were, let's
Mhm.
say, were quite new to this stuff. Everything was very like wow, 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 and all day long with the people in the treatment room, which is also good. But we know
Mhm.
there are better ways, and that why, for example, this recording, because we want to share the knowledge, and we believe that will help you guys to get more conscious, get more perspective what is happening in your life, and in this way, through the talks, we can share the knowledge with much wider group of people. So
Mhm.
this will be affecting you, and what we thinking, what we want to tell you guys, whenever you have a lower back pain, it's not only the way to to crack your joints, and that will solve you. That will solve certain symptoms, but that will not solve in the long term, definitely not solve the issue where it's coming from.
Exactly.
So it's more effective to look holistically to your issues and how to solve these issues. And there is always, from, you may disagree with me, but there is always not only one way to do the things, and
Yeah.
to focus only on the exercises will give you some effects, but that will be not the full picture. Focus
Mhm.
only on the diet will give you some effects, but that will not solve the problem. Focus on the mental level, on the thinking, and just to um, create the health by the positive thinking, also will give you some effects, but it will not give you the full range, the full spectrum, because I have a lot of talks with people who are very in the positive thinking and the power of the mind, which I'm agree there is something like that, and that's is very strong force in our life. But there are certain rules, the laws of the biology of our body, and
Mhm.
it's really good to respect these laws. If we are going according to these laws, going to the according to the seasons, and eating according to the seasons, not all year long the avocado and tomatoes, which I love, but there are
Yeah.
certain seasons for this food, isn't it? And this is also very interesting what you said about the grains and this all sprays. Uh, as you know, I'm quite connected to the indigenous people as well, from the Brazil, from the Amazon, and there was a research made on the Jungs in the indigenous culture and the Brazilians from the cities, and
Mhm.
that's amazing how huge difference are in the hormonal systems between the indigenous people who are not eating sprayed food and the youngs
Mhm.
in the same age from the Brazilian
From the city.
cities. Yeah, yeah. This is, and these guys who were tested, they are considering as a healthy population of the city.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
and I think I would just tell quickly that we often, most of us, because we live in the, unless we are living on some secluded island without any, I don't know, air, the flight zone above, we should all be testing regularly and cleansing ourselves of heavy metals. There are some good hair mineral tests that are not overly expensive. And seriously, the levels of heavy metals in our body are mortifying, absolutely mortifying. And more so if we live in the cities or around the cities. That's something that we should always look at.
yeah, definitely, I'm agree with you. And even the funny thing is, again, there was a very interesting for me article about the stress level, and they were comparing three groups. I mean, the same group of people, but in three situations. And one situation was they gave information suddenly to person, someone from their close circle of people died suddenly, and they checked how the cortisol is behave in the body, and how much the cortisol is released in this very moment. Then
Mm-hmm.
they test the same person in the cure in the supermarket, and there was a situation someone was called to them, and when they were in the middle of the cure or close to pay, and said, you forgot some eggs or whatever, you need to back and
Uh-huh.
buy something. So the level of cortisol, the stress, was also very high, similar similar to the information someone close died.
Wow.
So, and the
Mm-hmm.
first situation, what they tested, there was a traffic jam. So someone was stuck in the traffic, and suddenly, these boards with the information, they put on these
Mm-hmm.
boards like information: you will stay here. It's dead traffic for the next half an hour. And they tested the level of the cortisol, and there was not much difference between
Wow.
these three
Mm-hmm.
situations. So
Mm-hmm.
what it means for me, my interpretation is, when we're living in the city, the level of the stress, which is connected to daily activities, just a simple daily activities, shopping, driving, come
Mm-hmm.
on, we don't even
Yeah.
focus on it, what we're doing, we're just doing it, was so high, like the information about the death of someone close. So we are constantly under the stress. Oh, I see, Dominica, you
Yeah,
decided
it
to
is
join me
like
with the Frozen.
I'm frozen too. Okay. Yeah, we are, but you can hear me, yeah?
Yes, now yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, we are like constantly in that fight and flight response, yeah? And of course, releasing cortisol on the constant level, it's putting all our other hormones out of the balance. It's affecting our mood. It's affecting our ability to digest. And also is depleting our adrenals. So it may lead to the chronic fatigue syndrome that is often the beginning of many other uh, responses in the body, because I don't like to call them illnesses or diseases. They are responses in the body. They are messages. Our body is talking to us, and we don't necessarily want to listen or know how to listen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm agree with you because we somehow lost the knowledge how to listen our body, and definitely the definition of disease is putting us in some kind of state of mind. Something is very wrong with us, and
Mm-hmm.
that will be hard to cure it, and all this kind of thoughts and attachments related with the disease, and we need to go this way or that way. I mean, we're going to the pharmacology treatment because we
Mm-hmm.
are sick. I'm sick, so already I cannot do this and that. And the funny thing, even now, recently, 2 weeks ago, I was driving 20 hours uh, uh, in one go, just to stop for the fuel, and I had a fever during this
Mm-hmm.
drive, like with shaking and all this stuff. So um, my wife said, "Oh, you cleansing yourself?" I said, "Yes," because I went through the kind of stressful situation. Anyway, we move out from the house before we drive. So that was kind of stressful and a lot of physical activities. And I didn't sleep well for 2, 3 nights. I mean, I slept very well, but short.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then just the body react.
Mm-hmm.
Just the
Yeah.
body reacts. So first thing what I did, I didn't eat, and then definitely didn't want to eat any sugar, any
Mm-hmm.
any gluten, anything. I just drink the green juices, and on when I
Yeah.
was in the point, when I was in the point with the shaking, I decided to just take a little bit of paracetamol to reduce reaction. But I knew
Mm-hmm.
that's the cleansing. And the uh, next day I took some vitamin C for my body to help.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I didn't eat too much. I just went on the
Yeah.
water and green juices. And Tuesday I was brand new. The body was
Yeah.
cleansed. That's it. And
Yeah. And
I'm really yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just going to refer to that, kind of like almost like fasting that you did, because we have the tendency to eat constantly. We seriously need to chew something all the time, and very often we are not even hungry. We had something to eat maybe in the morning. We had lunch, and then the magical time comes, dinner. We don't really feel hungry, but we feel that we have that obligation uh, to eat that dinner, even though we don't really necessarily want it. It's just something that we should do, but should do, who is telling us to do it? Is it the, I don't know, the recommendations from the guidelines from the government, from the NHS, that we need to eat, but you don't feel hungry, so why do you eat? And our body has that amazing ability to heal with fasting, with water. If you cannot do water, do the juice fasting, green juice fasting, the herbal tea fasting. And yes, you may experience some difficult symptoms on the first or second day. There might be headache, but it is your body naturally cleansing. And you, after 2 days, I guarantee you won't feel hungry, and you will feel like a completely newborn person.
Exactly. This is what I very often advising to my clients when we have a session in the treatment room and they coming with the sharp pain. I said, "Come on, go ahead. 3 days, green juices or water. Eventually, as you said, herbal tea, and you need to fast if you want to speed up the process. The fasting, that's the best way to help
Mhm.
ourselves. If you will eat pizza and chips and fish and chips, that will not help you at all, and it will not definitely not
Mhm.
speed up the process, and you will sit home and eat all day long. This is the straightforward way to have a long process of healing and to get out from the situation. And so exactly, I observed that situation also with kids because I'm the father of the two, and the kids naturally they know, they feel, they still have this connection, and they know just we have this time for the dinner. And for example, younger ones is saying, oh, okay, I just want to take a bit, and that's it. So no, no,
Mhm.
you need to eat full bowl of soup because now is the time for dinner, and you will come in the 1 hour. And we had a lot of talks with grandparents about that, because
Yeah.
the Polish culture is a little bit based on the food and empty bowl. And I said to them, just leave him alone. Do you see he's happy? Do you see he's full of energy? He don't need
Mhm.
to eat all the time long. If there
Yeah.
is a dinner and he's not hungry, okay, he will come whenever he will feel like, if he will feel like, and that's it. And there is a
Yeah.
difference of the age between my kids. I have 7 and 11 years old boys, and the 11 years old he's eating like crazy now. But this is the difference of the
Mhm.
age, and he just
Yeah.
he feel that he need and he want it. So
Mhm.
don't compare. Do not compare it because this two different also bodies, even though they
Yeah.
are the same
Exactly.
parents, but this is two different bodies. They have different needs,
Yeah.
and
And also
that's
at the different stage of the development.
exactly, and
So.
that's the if we allowed for it in the very childhood stage of the development, that will stay with us. But because we have this hours in the school for the food, and then after school there are certain, as you said, uh, of course we joking guidelines, we you need to eat at 5 because if not this is not working, this is not
Mhm.
healthy for our body. It's definitely not healthy.
Mhm.
i I did ask once the school dietitian, why you don't introduce the fasting to the school
Mhm.
in
Oh
the
God.
secondary school? Why you don't have these talks about the positive effects, and why you don't introduce this like a challenge? Let's do the challenge
Mhm.
for the kids to fast or to eat at least a little bit less than usually. No way, kids, they need to eat every day like full, otherwise they will not develop in the right way. And uh, my boys, they sometimes fasting because they want, they just don't feel like
Mhm.
eat,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And also we are based on the vegetarian diet for them for at least 5 years, and that was the choice of the older one. And they're so healthy whenever we going for the test, because we're doing regularly tests for the body, and
Mhm.
they don't have any issues, any major or even minor changes in the levels of the vitamins or um, other factors in the blood. So it's, it's about
Yeah.
to add different perspective. You don't need to eat
Mhm.
like a chicken every day to healthy develop.
Yeah. Or having,
That's if
5 glasses of milk, which is
exactly, because
another one. Yeah. Mhm.
otherwise you will be short.
Exactly.
You
So.
remember this how it was? Drink milk, you will be big.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. For so many years, and it's so now ingrained in people's mind that yeah, you need to have milk. Oh my God, if you don't have milk, you will die. Pretty much.
Yeah, they forgot to tell us drink milk, you will be fat.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. It's such a now when we can see, of course, milk is full of all sorts of different things, because of course the cows are treated with antibiotics, etc. So we are ingesting all of it. But it is pro-inflammatory. It's like I have so many clients with mainly with arthritis. Whenever the clients actually followed my recommendation and swapped the dairy milk and dairy in general for the plant-based alternatives. The pain started decreasing, like literally within days. So it's a massive pro-inflammatory and mucus forming, lymphatic system congesting food. That's not for us. So yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, you are still frozen, so I don't know.
And still, temperature is not to be frozen; it's more to be baked now. Where I am. I think that will be the good start for the next talk. I will be very happy to talk about the milk products and their influence on the arthritis and other issues, because there is much more issues in the body which are caused by the diet. And again, not many body workers are aware of that, and they are not often advising people about the food and the relationship between the process of healing and the process to back into the balance, and the effects of the cow milk products in our body. So I think that will be the great topic for our next program. Thank you very much, Dominica, for your time, for your willing to share the knowledge. As well as always, good sense of humor, which we like to share as well with you guys. Not only knowledge, but it's important to remember. There is no sense to be too serious, because we all will die, and it's better to die with a smile in the face.
Exactly.
So guys, thank you very much to those who were with us all the time and live. This program will be available on the Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. If you would like to subscribe this channel, you will receive always bell with the information and reminders whenever we will talk again. Uh, would you like to say something, Dominica, on the end?
No, I think we covered quite a bit. Of course, we can continue, but we will continue in the next episodes, because there is a lot to talk about. We didn't really talk about herbs much today, but it will come in the next episode, because it is all connected. And just for those of you who are interested in using herbs for pain, just research herbs that have anti-inflammatory action. And one of the one that comes to mind right away is turmeric. So check turmeric, turmeric tinctures, turmeric high potency turmeric supplements, and that's the start. There is a lot of herbs that we could use, but we will cover it more in the next sessions episodes.
Thank you, Dominica. Thank you all. Good night, goodbye, and see you in the next episode.
See you. Take care.